I'm making a budget lemon drizzle cake for Easter. I've got one lemon rind, which I have washed and made sure that it's not waxed. And then I'm just going to peel, using my peeler, all the bits off the whole of the lemon. And then I'm just gonna pop that in, whoops, to the Thermomix. And now I've just been to the shop to buy some sugar for this recipe and seen the price difference between caster sugar and granulated sugar. So I'm going to be using granulated sugar. Because it was less than half the price. So I'm pretty sure this isn't going to have a major effect on the bake, but I will find out. So this recipe asks for 220 grams of sugar. You can reduce that if you want. You could do, 150, 180. This is for adults who love a bit of sweetness, so I'm going to go and put the whole 225 grams in. Okay, so I'm now gonna basically grind this together, and I'm gonna do it for 10 seconds on speed 8. Okay, that's all been absolutely beautifully ground together. All right, so now I'm going to add the other ingredients. So we're going to put in 225 grams of your choice of butter or margarine, ideally softened at room temperature. And then I'm just cutting that into chunks. Thing about making Thermomix cakes is that it's super easy. You don't have to do what you had to in the old days when you were making cakes, which was to put everything in. Normally you'd be blending the sugar and the butter together, all very gently, and adding the eggs and whatnot afterwards. So we are just gonna throw pretty much everything in. So 225 grams of butter, and then we've got 4 free-range eggs. Now, if you are trying to eat a plant-based diet, I have got another video on my channel that is a lemon drizzle cake, which is completely vegan. So I'm making this for a friend who is not completely plant-based, so I'm just going to go ahead with the normal recipe. Okay, now I'm going to put 225 grams of self-raising flour, and then pop the lid on. And I'm going to mix this for 30 seconds on speed 5. Okay, so now I'm going to just scrape down the sides of the bowl, getting any of the excess flour, putting that back into the mix. And then I'm going to mix it again for 15 seconds on speed 6. Okay, there we have a beautifully mixed cake, smelling beautifully lemony, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm now going to pop that into a loaf tin and I'm going to bake it in the oven at 180, gas mark 4. And I'm going to just line the tray with some baking paper, and also I'm going to then bake that for about 50 minutes, but I will check it and then I will be adding the icing. Okay, so my cake is finished baking and now I'm going to make the icing. So what you want to do is just to poke some holes into the cake. Doesn't matter how many you make, random holes all over the cake, because the icing is going to drizzle in through the holes. Okay, and then what I've done is I've juiced that lemon that I used the rind from earlier, and now I've just put it into a bowl and I'm going to place a load of icing sugar into it and then just mix it together to form a nice thick icing. And just use the back of the spoon to get out any lumps and bumps. Okay, so now I've got my holes in my cake. I'm just going to drizzle the icing over the top. Let it soak all the way down into the holes and down the edges of the tray. Okay, so now I've got a plate. Just going to use a knife to loosen off the cake. And then because we put the paper underneath, we should just be able to lift it out nicely. And there we have it. So you can just leave that to set and then you can peel the paper off before serving. Okay guys, enjoy!